Right? Number one, el número, el uno. I can find that answer. It doesn't seem to be the right book. No, it's not coming together very well. No way to treat a brand new book, Caleb. No way to treat a brand new book. Lemonade. Jack, how about number one?
30.
We should have like people say the right answer or the wrong answer, you have a little wrong. One should be 30. Number two is no scores are less than 30 or greater than 110. Oh, I put you skip number two, didn't I? 3, do we do 3? 3, you get x over 4 and x can't be 0 when you simplify it. So forth. Number 4, did I tell you skip that too? Let's skip 4 for right now. 5 should be 8, x to the 9th, y to the 3rd. 8x to the 9th, y to the 3rd. Number 6, ooh. I have negative 1 x cubed. Oh, do we need a negative 1 then? Why is there a negative 1 there? Plus 3y squared plus 2x cubed y squared. Why would we put negative 1 there? 7 is xy plus 2x squared y squared. Do I need to change that? xy plus 2x squared y squared. Number 8 is n to the 5th. N to the 5th. 9 is y cubed plus 3y squared. And 1 is the leading coefficient. Number 10, ladies and gentlemen, is 4/5. 4/5. Number 11 is no, not a solution. No, yes. 12, y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. 13 is 4 feet. I'm sorry, what? She's making a drawing. 4 feet. 14, x equals 7. X equals 7. 15, it has infinite solutions. No, no solution is not the same as infinite solutions. You must get those separated. We can talk about that and get you straightened away on that in a moment. 16, m equals negative 2. M equals negative 2. 17, the markup is $5.40, and the new price is $17.40. 18, the rate of change, which is also the slope, is 4 gallons per minute. 4 gallons per minute. 19, you get y minus 8 equals 3 times in parentheses x minus 2. And 20, yes, it is arithmetic sequence. The common difference is 4. The next two terms are 9 and 13. I don't even like that one. I'm going to take that one out of the mix as well. You never know. Is it arithmetic or is it geometric? That is the question. Shall we proceed with caution? This may or may not be the point in the show where you probably want to get yourself to something to jot down yourself some notes to the sheet that you can read on the test will help you greatly. Ben, what's your thoughts?
I need you to 7.
Oh, wait, I didn't ask for that. 7 what? 7. I don't know if I can do math at this time of day. It seems so far out of place. Maybe I'll replace those 4 problems with problems that are so easy that it's not even funny. Where are we at? David?
What was number 9?
I don't know. Number 9, y cubed plus 3y squared. Let's start with that one, because I'm going to take the fall on this one. This is an easy one that you shan't get wrong, ladies and gentlemen, if you just jot this down for yourself. Standard form of any polynomial is just in descending. How do you spell descending? Descending. What is that called? What's it called? The power thing. Descending.
Exponent order?
What? No. Somebody tell me. No, it does deal with the exponents. Descending what?
Order?
No. What's the name of that?
Descending form. Standard form.
Oh, I can't think of the word. That's because I'm out of.
Distributive property.
No. When it asks you for the whatever, the polynomial.
The coefficient.
Not that, that's not it. Not the power of, not the,
The area.
Polynomials.
somebody's got it out there.
The
Say it.
slope.
Binomial.
No.
Trinomial.
Graphing.
No, somebody, it's gotta be coming to you.
Does it start with an A?
I don't know what it starts with, I don't remember.
Associative property.
Descending order of, it's gonna come to me.
Degree.
Huh?
Descending.
Degree.
Degree. It's in descending degrees. In other words, you start with the highest degree first. And since this is a y cubed, we always write that first. Y cubed will come in front of a y squared. We got this calculated. So it would end up with y cubed plus 3y squared. It doesn't matter the numbers in front of the letters. You're only looking at the exponents. We always start with the highest exponent first and work our way down. Then after you do that, the leading coefficient in math is numbers. Just put that in your little pipe and smoke it there. So the leading number in this is a 1. Even though it's not written there, it's an assumed 1. If the 3y squared would have been written first, it would have been a 3. But it's not first because it's not there. So this one, chalk that up to an easy 1 right off the bat. Now we just have to make it more to worry about.
What do you do?
We do what? That's it.
You just put a 1?
If there would have been a 6 there, I would have put a 6.
No.
Wait, but what's it? That's the answer.
That's it.
But how do you get that?
Leading coefficient is a 1.
It
So that's the number in front of the y. How do I get it? It's just there. I didn't do anything to get it. It's there. There's a 1 in front of this. We just don't write them.
Oh, you just switch it around?
Because this has a higher exponent that comes with it.
So what if
Three.
the higher
That's
exponent
standard
was on the
form.
left?
Huh?
What if the higher exponent was on the left? You just keep it as 3.
Yes. If this would have been a 4, it already was in standard form, and the leading coefficient would have been 3.
So what's the other form?
What in the world is he talking?
What's the other form? 'Cause if that's
Nonsense
standard-
form. Russell, let's move on.
Number 1.
Is number 1 a good one? I love number 1. Ron is renting a car. He can spend at the most. What can he spend at the most per day on rental? Now, first of all, if you see the words at most, at least, no more than, what should come in your head? What are those things called?
Ratio loss.
Division?
They're
Subtraction?
inequalities. It doesn't tell you what it has to equal, it says at the most. What inequality sign is at the most? If you don't know, think about an example. if your age is at the most 15, your age is at the most 15, what inequality sign would you put in there? Would it be the greater than, the less than equal to, the greater than or equal to? Think about what numbers could it be? Could it be 15?
Yeah.
Yes, so it could be equal to. Could it be 16?
No.
No, so it has to be less than or equal to 15. That's at the most. At the most means it must be less than or equal to something. That's just what your thought process is. Okay. Then, as I've always told you, this confuses even me, believe it or not, Ben. And when things confuse me, I just put normal numbers in there and see what I get there. You're renting a car for $5 a day. So every day you pay $5, right? You can spend $200, that's all you have to spend. Plus, there's a deposit fee of $50. So I would say to myself this, let's say I rented the car for 10 days. At $5 a day, 10 days is gonna cost me equals $50, right?
Yeah.
Plus, this $50 fee here means I have to pay that no matter what. So now I have spent how much? $100, right? Could I do that? Yes, because I can spend at the most $200. So there's where you do this. I take $5 per day, because I multiplied that by 10, or multiplied that by the number of days, right? I have to add the $50, because I have to pay this $50 fee no matter what. And that has to be less than or equal to, how much money do I have total? $200. Plug the numbers in there and see. You could, by the way, do this by trial and error, I suppose, if you just want to keep doing it, but this is an equation that you can solve. Subtract 50, subtract 50. 5 times what number? The most you could spend, is less than or equal to 150. Divided by 5, how many days could you have? Divide this by 5 children?
You're making it like really complicated.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just telling you, this is
All you have to do is
mathematically.
subtract 50 from 200 and then divide it by
Is
5.
that what I did?
But you made it look like
Yes.
super complicated.
No,
I'm just giving it to you, the mathematical formula.
You just put it in the.
By all means, if you don't need to do this, don't, but I'm telling you, you gotta put it into your head and just figure it out. So the answer, yes, was 30, right? Divide 150 by 5. Don't, you don't have to do it my way, I'm just telling you kind of the way mathematically you have to think about
Does
it.
D stand for days?
It does.
Wait, then whatever we use for 5 days. 4. Isn't it 5 days?
Oh, how much could you spend at the most? It's the same thing. Days is for dollars. How about that? We're asking how many dollars you could spend a day now. I read it backwards, but it's done the same way. It's 5 days, how many dollars per day? Not how many days. But the same thing because you multiply those two together. Doesn't matter which one you go with. So,
15.
we can do that one again. I can start all over again. Please go. Where's 15? Fifth, uh-oh. I'm just telling you to stay over there. Is it over here? Anybody?
Yeah.
It's already quit. Oh, well, this one's an easy one. So what do I gotta do first?
Distribute.
Yeah, you gotta simplify this side, which already is, simplify this side, which isn't. And Sophia says distribute, this is the notes I tell myself on this one. If you go wrong, it's usually because you don't multiply by a -5. You multiply by the 5, but forget the negative. It's a -5 times both of these. -5 times -2 is positive 10x. -5 times -3 is a positive 15. Right? Oh, this is the one, this is why we have to talk about this. Yes. And this is where everybody said there's no solution. No, that's not the case. I've told you this before. I subtract my 10x over, and I get 0x. Now, you can't stop there. You have to see what you get on the other side because the answer will change depending on. Yes, if you get 0x equal to any number other than 0, the answer is no solution. Because 0 times nothing gives you a different number. But if when you subtract this over, you get 0 equal x equals to 0, ask yourself 0 times what number gives you 0? 1, 2, 3, 4, any number times x gives you 0. So if you get 0x equals 0, that is infinite solutions because any number would work there.
That makes sense.
If this would just been a 10, then yes, there's no solution. You can't take 0 times any number to give you 10, but you take 0 times all numbers. You consider yourself just that much smarter.
Or it actually makes sense.
Sometimes
Any
it
random
does.
number.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. David,
19.
is that this one? Oh, please tell me it's not the, Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you, this should have been one of the easiest problems for you. Because if, would somebody please, that's all you do, take out your notes under point, slope, form. If you didn't look at your notes, I can't help you.
I don't know, this one I was right with my
Look.
left hand, so okay.
Look, right here. Point slope is this, y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Okay? You just need to write the equation. Oh, they gave you everything you know. This is the slope, so that number goes in for the letter m because that's the slope. This is the x and the y number. You just put this in for y minus 8 equals 3 times x minus 2. And ladies and gentlemen,
Wait a second.
that's it. That's the whole answer. All you need is this, and you put slope in for the letter m, this in for x, that in for y, and everybody's happy. There's no thinking in this. You need this. By the way, I don't like point slope form, but it is taught out there, so you can actually just get it done. Do I need to go over that again? You need this
No,
and just plug the numbers in. That's all you
but you
need.
don't have to solve.
But then you don't solve it.
Does it say solve or does it say just write the equation?
It's just what?
It says write in point slope form, the equation, no solving. It doesn't say to graph it even, which you probably could, but I won't. You won't go there. So you need this, slope for slope, y for y, x for x. By the way, don't put it in the first one because that's not what they do. I don't know why, but it always goes in the second.
Man, I feel like McDonald's right now. It's just been one of those days.
You can't even see, so I'm going somewhere else.
Huh?
You can't even see anything.
I can.
See what?
Yeah. Look at that.
I can see you like this.
No, not the bottom of your eye. Amelia,
At least I can see.
Number 10.
please tell me if you did that. Is it here or is it on the other side? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, please.
Oh, I grabbed
10. Number 10. A lot of questions about slope here. I certainly would have the slope formula or the slope, slope formula. What is it? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Did we go there?
But like this one is a small, so you can like kind of graph it out because it's not big numbers. Because I graphed it out and still got it right.
Sure, you want to graph it out, but I would recommend against it because
No, only if there's big numbers I do the
do
formula.
what you want. I'm not here to force you to do whatever. And then I would just put my parentheses, just make sure. It doesn't matter which ones you call the sub twos and the sub ones, generally speaking, it's just best to go, this is x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2, and then you just plug those numbers in there. Y sub 2 is 3, y sub 1 is 7, x sub 2 is negative 2, x sub 1 is 3. Did I put them in the right place? Sometimes it takes a while. And then just do the mathematics. Did I do that right? You'd stop me if I did something wrong, because like, sometimes when you stand this close to something. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Negative 2 minus 3 is -5. Two negatives actually make it positive. Is that the way to answer? So in my notes, I think I have the thing, or if you wanted to get it, you can graph it out on a piece of graph.
That's only if it's small numbers though, because it will fit.
I'm not saying you can't. If you think about this, Evan, and you
I'm
may
just saying
get,
I don't do it
Evan,
every
if you
time.
think about this, because you may get this, because you catch on to some of these things. When you do the triangle, that's actually what these numbers represent.
So what?
The triangle, that's the line that you drew and made the triangle to find the slope, that's actually what these numbers are. If you look at the points,
Uh-huh.
you had a y point at 7 and a y point at 3. If you subtract those, you get 4. That's what you did. You just counted them instead of subtracting. Think about that. These are all time. All right, man.
Are you 7?
7 one that I want to do?
Ben did this like speedy during, like what did you do?
Yeah, what did you do?
Reading.
Throughout the day. There's like a problem each class.
7 is not really hard, it's just confusing. Balanced distributed property, you with me on this? So you need to multiply this fraction times this, and then multiply it by that. So look, x cubed times y squared is x cubed y squared, can't really do anything there. On the bottom, you get y times x squared. Second fraction, 2 times x cubed y cubed. Can't really do anything there. The problem with this is gonna be in simplifying it over yx. X, why do that? So the question, Ben, is what can we cross off on each one of these things? This has 3 x's, x times x times x. This has 2 x's, so what's gonna happen? 2 of these will cross off with 2 of those on top, and you're left with just an x on top. This has 2 y's times themselves, this has 1 y, so this 1 y will cross off with that 1 y, and you're left with just that 1 y on top. Everything on bottom crossed off, because those 2 x's crossed off with 2 there, that 1 y crossed off. So this one isn't a fraction any longer, because it doesn't have anything left on the bottom. Over here, this 1 y will cross off with those 3 to leave with you with what? 2 y squared. This 1x will cross off with those 3 x's to leave you with a
X squared.
x squared. Just throw that 2 up there, nothing on the bottom, so it ends up being 2 x squared, y squared. Can I put these two terms together? No, because they have to have the same exponents too. Not just the same letters, but the same exponents.
But you can still take from the own.
If it asks you to factor, you can factor, but you can't really do anything more with this. This is the whole. Now, if you're writing this in standard form, you should flip those terms around because the higher degree term is there. Jax, are you losing focus? Is this a bad time of day for you?
Oh, what you have next?
It is
It's
something, isn't it?
clearer.
Huh?
Clearer.
Edwards?
Can you do 4?
Wait, is that one I said don't do?
Not do 4? Oh.
It might be one. It may be one that I'm not really real excited about.
It's gonna be all the way at the bottom.
Because it's gonna take a while. It's kind of complicated and not very fun. Wait, what is number 4? Oh, yeah, we're gonna skip outliers for now. Someday when I got nothing to do, we'll talk outliers. This is a
About
big
what?
formula. We have to find the inner quartile range multiplied by 1.5, subtract something. Whoever raised their hand the highest, I will ask the question to. Don't fall off, you do, yeah, that'd be a bad.
Jump.
idea.
Jump.
Ava Russell.
That's not, she's had the question like 10 times.
Actually, no, I did skip yours. I'll go back to London because I did name it. Maybe it's the same one, you can collaborate. We will pick this up again tomorrow.
Well,
And you didn't sound very sure of that one.
yeah.
She just wanted to say one.
You sounded like you were just making that up to make up. And again, I think I would probably write down for problem 12, what is slope intercept form? Y equals mx plus b. That is your generic formula that you just need to plug numbers in. What does the letter M stand for? The slope. What does the letter B stand for? Where it crosses the y-axis, called the y-intercept. So if you can find where it crosses the y-intercept and figure out the slope of the line, that's all you need for the equation. Let's do the y-intercept first. London, where does this line cross the y-axis?
That one.
So that's what goes for the letter B, +1. What is the slope of the line? We could ask our expert Evan, but let's just do it ourselves. You need to make a place where you can get a triangle, which here's a good point, there's a good point, here's my triangle. How far up does the triangle go? How far over is the triangle? 2, and my answer is not right because of why, Ben? Ben, why is my answer not right? No, there's no solving.
What then? I'm just saying.
It's
I thought you were
down.
the expert.
Sophia, why is it
Yeah,
wrong?
It's negative.
Because it's going downhill, you need to get the positives and negatives right. It's a negative 1/2 slope because if you go from left to right, downhill, it's a negative slope.
Ooh, look at them all go up now.
I'm gonna give Hines the opportunity because she's not like jumping all over. As long as it's not one that I don't wanna do. Where?
All the way on the top right.
El Taco, there you go. Trying to think what snack to bring in before the math test, because it seems like you do better after you eat.
Oh, we love donuts.
Donuts and hot chocolate.
McDonald's
Oh, those
Can we
three
bring
donuts,
us coffee? We love to have coffee.
Oh.
You can't get them in the same morning.
McDonald's
I-
cheeseburger.
Jax, you can't get them.
It's not
They're in
bad.
the morning.
We have them in the
Alright.
hash browns.
Who asked me this one?
Yeah,
Lexi?
you should get us all hash browns.
Alright, last one here. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, there's a couple different ways to think about this, but probably the easiest way is this. This has an exponent of 3, which is outside of a parenthesis. That means whatever's in the parenthesis gets cubed. So you need to write 2x cubed y 3 times itself, because that's what cubed is. Now, people go wrong here. They get the number right, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. But then they start thinking about 3 times 3 times 3, but that's not how exponents work. X cubed is x times x times x. X cubed is another x times x times x. X cubed is another x. You do not have 27 x's there when you multiply them together. You just have 9 of them. X to the 9th power. Is this just y and the same thing? Y times y times y is y to the 3rd power. The exponent rule for exponents is exponents to exponents get multiplied. If you would have done that at the beginning here, you could say, okay, 2 to the 3rd power is 8. X to the 3rd, these two exponents times themselves is x to the 3rd, and y, this is a 1, and y is the 1st. But I think this is probably the best way to think about it for you for right now. Congratulations. I got it. Wow, boy, you'll be the first person. First person, Russell. Jax, are you raising your hand to